Hey family, how you doing? It's your brother King Simon. I am your host for King Simon Presents Only Quality People. Also broadcasting at King Simon Prod at Twitter. Also broadcasting on Facebook at King Simon and King Simon Productions. And don't forget, I have another station called the Numero Ovation Nation. Look, we got a great guest for you coming up, so make sure you lock in, tune in. She'll be here at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, but what we call the top of the hour, Sakina Oyufuro. Gentle Spirit Birth Midwifery Services will be in the building. She's also an author, superstar, teacher, and trainer, and she wrote a book called Journey to Birth. It's an excellent book, so make sure y'all tune in, lock in, and don't touch that dial. Your brothers right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People. Will be right black and melanated after this.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
It's the numerational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon, the Numero Ovation. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numero Ovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now. Yes, family. Yes. I hope everybody is tuned in and locked in. Remember, this is King Simon Presents Only Quality People. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor. Don't forget my other YouTube channel. It's called the Numero Ovation Nation on YouTube. So we're going to have a good time today. Like I said, we got Sakina Oyufuro. Gentle Spirit Birth Midwifery Service. We're going to bring the legacy. We're going to bring the information. She also got a book called, of course, Journey to Birth. And do want to remind everybody what's coming up. I want to let everybody what's coming up. On October the 1st, we have Dr. Oya Ma'at coming up here on October the 1st. And then on October the 9th, we have our beautiful sister, the one, the only Rashida Strober. She'll be in the building live and direct. Also, she's going to be here. It's called Darkism Matters. It's time to heal in the dark. We got her coming up. And do remember, if you're in Brooklyn this coming weekend, make sure you support Ross Ben, Lloyd Strayhorn, Unc Rise and Son, and Cafunia, Sister Cafunia, from 6 to 9 p.m. at Nicholas Brooklyn. Make sure you contact Nicholas Brooklyn for information at 718-858-4400 and tell them King Simon sent you. And do remember, guess what, family? Been asking me about this. Look, I do have a workshop coming up. It's a webinar coming up, Ascended Masters class. And it's an interactive workshop, applied numerovation, 0 from 9, 11. We're going to talk about 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, how to apply the numbers and make it work for you on Saturday, October 28th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. with question and answers. You learn how to guide yourself. Learn how to guide yourself. And the tickets will be on sale on October 1st. That's at linktree/King Simon the Numerator. That's linktree/King Simon the Numerator. And it is now 5 minutes before the top of the hour. Do remember, make sure you support this beautiful sister, Dr. Shakira Moore. That's right, iridologist and superstar holistic practitioner. And make sure you go to her Linktree. That's Linktree/Holistica Healer. That's Linktree/Holistica Healer. Those are one of my sponsors. And here's my other sponsor, Lloyd Strayhorn, 800-581-4401, world-renowned astronumerologist and palmist. Make sure you hit him up, and tell him King Simon sent you. And if you're in Delaware, make sure you hit up Drop Squad Kitchen. Believe me, you want to support Drop Squad Kitchen at Wilmington, Delaware. Tell them King Simon sent you. EPS Holistic Health and Wellness .square.site. I'm telling you, you want some good natural lubricants for your back when you're working out or your muscles. They have it for you, all made naturally, infused with CBD, hydration, gel, and all of that. So make sure you show them some love. And if you're in Brooklyn or Manhattan, make sure you support Nicholas Brooklyn and Nicholas Cultural. Get them a call, 718-858-4400. And remember, 10% off all retail prices and all retail purchases. If you want to support our great Baba Ashra Kwesi, who tore the place down in Brooklyn, even when the storm came, look, you want to go with him, 15-day trip in Africa at Kemet, Cairo, Nubia, 214-371-0206. That's 214-371-0206. And remember to mention my name, and he'll talk you up a good deal, all right? And don't forget, you can get my books on all platforms, but make sure you go to Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. Take the 2-hour class or the 2-hour introductory course on Udemy. It's only 2 hours on that one, but I'm telling your family it's very good. And you can go to udemy.com or just go to my Linktree. If you want the 8-hour course, guess what? King Simon is in the building for 8 hours, baby. That's a holistic, raw, uncut numerational course. And if you want to book a session with me, all you have to do is text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. Remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And like Dr. B. Sirius says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. Yeah, 3 minutes before we bring on the one, the only Sakina. Oh, you hurrah. How y'all feeling? I'm feeling good. I'm back in town. Back in Georgia. Had a long stint, not only in just New York City, but upstate too. I was up there hanging out too with some family and some friends. So, yo, you know what it is. Your king is in the building. Your king is in the house. In the building. The king is in the house. Big up to Elizabeth. What's up, Elizabeth? What's happening? Holistica Healing. Oh, y'all seen her advertisement. Remember, she's one of my sponsors here. So big up to Holistica Healing, the one, the only Dr. Shakira, lot of mercy. Make sure you support what she got going on. Y'all seen on Brother Richard's show. You know what she do. She keeps it moving, having a good time. So make sure y'all support our sister, man. The iridologist is off the hook. I'm telling you. And they beautiful too. So happy birthday to Dr. Karima King. Today is her birthday. Big up to Dr. Karima, who also deals with Indian Ayurvedic medicines and iridology. She's celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday to her. And in the next 1 minute, we got the one, the only Sakina coming up. Man, she's an old friend of mine now. I don't know, she's one of my friends now. So we're going to be bringing her on momentarily. And do remember, Ross Ben is going to be in the place in Nicholas, Brooklyn. Ross Ben going to be dropping that knowledge with Lloyd, Uncle Riser's son, and Sister Kafunya. And that's going to be off the hook. And this beautiful activist here, she's coming on my show for the first time, October 8th. That happens to be Pascal Beverly Randolph's birthday. And, of course, Nick Cannon's birthday. And it's called Darkism Matter. It's time to heal in the dark. Also, I heard she won a defamation act from a major YouTuber, but we're not going to mention his name or talk about him now. We just want to make sure if you're being offended by anybody on YouTube, you can win. She won some money too, so we're going to talk about that briefly, but we're not going to mention any names. But because I don't even want that person on my timeline at all. And again, I do have my classes coming up, my Ascended Masterclass webinar, Applied Numerovation. Yes, Applied Numerovation. Learn how to guide yourself. So Hey, it's been a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I had a beautiful time in New York. I hope everybody out there is doing well. If you're doing well, it's all good. I hope you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, taking care of your health. I'm Zen AF. People remember me having it gold. I had to paint it black because the gold was fading. So I said, you know what? I'm very creative. Let me paint it black. I painted black. Zen AF. You know what Zen AF means. You know what it is. But we're waiting for Sakina to come up at the 8 o'clock hour. We got our beautiful sister coming up next. And, family, today is the 27th. And in numerology, in the study of numbers, 27 is a number of productivity and reaping the benefits of being creative and productive. So those that are born on the 27th of any month or 27 shows up in any part of your chart, always remember to be productive, be creative in whatever you do and however you do, and then things will pan out. It's in numerology, in the study of numbers, the 27th. Today is the 27th day, and in numerology, that is one of the numbers that is called a scepter. And scepters are usually special things that are passed down from generation to generation, from father to son, from prince to princess, from queen to princess. So having that number as a day being born or any cycle, believe me, it works out. So I see our beautiful midwife in the background. We're getting ready to bring her up. And, she got some great things we want to share with, some great information we want to share with you. And one thing I like is good information. So let me read something brief of one of her website. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's a long extension. She got mission, she got purpose, she got philosophy, she got all of it going on in here. But the mission of a Woman's Way Warrior Midwife Training Program is to empower Black individuals with the knowledge, skills, and ancestral wisdom necessary to reclaim, revitalize, and decolonize the practice of midwifery. We are dedicated to fostering a community of Black midwives who honor and celebrate the diverse experiences and birthing traditions of Black families while ensuring cultural, competent, and holistic care. And that's just the beginning. And without further ado, I want to welcome a dear friend who I've known probably over 20 years now, and we still looking good in these streets. The one, the only, Sakina Oyuhuro in the building. Sakina, how you doing, beautiful sister? How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I had to invite you, my sister. I mean, we've done workshops together, a workshop together. We didn't do it at Nicholas, Brooklyn. Shout out to Nicholas. And you sold books there, books were sold there and all that kind of stuff. And I'm so happy for the job that you've done in the midwifery realm. And before I go into that, I want to share the book that you have. It's called Journey to Birth. If you get a chance, make sure you go to her website and get it. The websites are right there: www.gentlespiritbirth.com and www.awomanswaywarriormidwifetraining.com. So I just wanted to show that and give that a round of applause. I have the book. It's actually in my archive. I share that with my family because we're having children. There's a whole lot of us.
That's a good thing.
Give thanks. And, sometimes midwives are also appointed in hospitals, I've noticed. And certain I noticed with one of my child's birth, my last child, there was a midwife there because I know I didn't even know what we were asking about, but she wanted to be in that hospital. It was in Kings County that my last son was born, and the midwife was there. But also they got birthing centers and all that. First, before we go into all of this beautiful information about midwifery, because I grew up with midwives. My auntie in Jamaica was a midwife and a registered nurse. My grandmother was a midwife. I got pictures of my grandmother holding babies, just delivering babies. As a matter of fact, she worked in the hospital that Michael Jordan was born, Mike Tyson was born, and Spike Lee was born. Same years, right? So I don't know if she was one of the midwives. I'm not sure. But how would she know? She transitioned. She don't know. You never know who she, but they was midwives was very, very few and far few between back in the 60s. Very far few here
Yeah.
in America. It wasn't that unless it was amongst the Jewish community. But your journey in midwifery, what made you go down the road of midwifery, Sakina? Please explain.
Well, thank you, Simon, for having me here.
You're
It's always a
welcome.
pleasure
Yes.
to, work with you and be on the same platform.
Yes.
So thanks once again. My journey to midwifery, I believe, was spiritually led.
Mm.
I think this is my purpose. Well, I
Yes.
know it's my
Yes.
purpose, my
That's right.
dharma in life.
That's
And
right.
my grandmother was a midwife, and I believe,
Mm.
her um, having an integral or playing an integral part of birthing me
Yes.
is the reason why I'm on this path. I was born at home, and actually, my mom had a very precipitous or fast delivery, and
Mm.
my grandmother, played a very critical role in me surviving because I was a
Mm.
breech birth, feet coming
Mm.
first, and
Wow.
she, actually administered some breaths and unraveled the cord, uh,
Wow.
and is the reason why I'm alive today.
Yeah, give that a round of applause, Grandma. Thank you, Grandma. Is she in the ancestral realm or she's still
She
alive?
is in the ancestral
Respect
realm,
to
giving
Grandmama.
homage.
Say your name. Say your name. Say your name.
Yes, Josephine Howell.
Josephine Howell, we're calling
Yes,
your name. Be here
Ashe,
with us.
Ashe. Yeah,
Love
it's
and
an
honor to
honor.
you. Believe me,
Yes.
my grandmother Lily in Scotland, Walton, Scotland, and of course my aunt Vicky Campbell. Got to call these midwives' name.
You
They
do.
did great work, man. They did great work, man. They did great work. And
They do great
yes,
work,
they
and
do great
they
work.
paved the way for me to be able to do what I do. And so
Yes.
when I moved back here, South Carolina, because I was born in New York and New Jersey, and I practiced up there. I had to go back to
Mm,
my grandmother's land and give homage and kneel
mm,
down
that's
and
right.
ask them to bless my journey here.
Mm.
And I was forced to do that. Spirit told me, you got to go back.
Where did you go? Where did you go?
I went to St. Matthews, South Carolina.
South Carolina, the land of the Geechee and Gullah people. Oh, yes. Oh,
Yeah,
my
and
goodness.
that's where my mom lives right now. And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
remember the day
Yes.
I things weren't going so well for my practice here when I started in
Hmm.
Charlotte, the independent practice.
Of course.
And so Spirit said you needed to go to, pay homage. And
Yes.
so I went to visit my mom, and I remember the day was raining so hard. And I kept saying, Spirit, you want me to go out in the rain? And yes, the message was yes, yes. And
Of
so
course.
I told my mom, I was like, Mom, can you come out here in the backyard with me? And
Mm.
because I have to pray, I have to kneel and ask on them to bless my journey. And she was like, you want me to go out there? I was like, yeah. I was told you have to come with me. And
That's right.
she reluctantly went. But then the sun came out. It stopped
Mm.
raining as soon as we came
Wow.
out.
Wow. See, mom's bore witness then, huh? Mom's bore witness.
So
That's
yes,
good.
I've had a blessed journey
Yes.
with my home birth practice. It started in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then I moved to Raleigh. I'm currently in Raleigh,
Hmm.
and so I'm serving the Raleigh-Durham area
Yeah.
currently. But I've been practicing for over 25 years.
Yeah.
Initially, I started out in New York and New Jersey, and then came here to complete my practice.
Wonderful, wonderful journey. That is a wonderful story. I know it's in the book also. I think I remember reading,
Yeah,
about that. Yeah, I
parts
remember
about
reading
that.
parts about that in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I read. I read. I like to read. So, but that is, man, Sakina, it's been a while. You and I have spoken, and I thought about you. You came up, and that's why I called you and reached out to you
Yes.
because I know people are still having children, and then
Oh, yeah.
there's some people that are reluctant to have children right now.
Yes.
These new millennials, they're going through a lot in their life, and a lot of it comes from birth. A
Right.
lot of the trauma comes from birth and
Yeah.
what parents went through. Uh, let's take it down a holistic route because you keep on saying spirit. What is the spiritual practice that you are initiated in? Because it seems like you've been initiated into something. Is there something that you've been initiated in a spiritual practice? Because even that last name is powerful. Please.
Well, I believe I was spiritually led to this path,
Right.
and I've been blessed.
Mhm.
I do have a ministry, and my
Okay.
ministry is in healing.
Good.
And of course, you come to know that.
Mhm.
Doesn't come to you right away, but I
Right.
came to know that I am a healer,
Right.
and a spiritual healer as well.
Mhm.
So yes, my hands are blessed,
That's right.
and I think it's very important for me to pass that forward. That's why I started a Women's Way War and Midwife Training Program, because
Mhm.
it's important that we continue to empower, raise awareness, and continue to I want to say nurture the
Yeah.
younger generation into becoming community-based midwives.
Mm.
So my focus now is on training young women, individuals into becoming community-based midwives. So
That's a beautiful journey. Again, a round of applause. Because no, it's a beautiful. Why I say that is because I grew up watching things happen while visiting Jamaica. I was born here in America, but my
mhm,
parents are from Jamaica and Cuba and those places, and watching the sometimes the emergency of getting a woman to a midwifery because she's coming through with her belly this big, and I remember we just finished eating breakfast. I think I was washing dishes in the backyard in Jamaica, and this woman come through, and the parents and everybody could be very nervous and all that when they come. It's a
yeah,
whole lot of energy. But
it is.
my aunt was always calm. She's like, "Come, just
Right.
bring her over here, and I take her." But she's always boop boop boop, and all you hear is a baby crying. That's my aunt. So I used to be there. I was like, what the? And I was a child, like I'm like 5, 6 years of age. I remember this stuff, and I'm
Mhm.
picking up. And my grandfather built the midwifery house in the back,
Oh, wow.
and like I told you over the
Blessing.
phone, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's a blessing. My grand, may he rest in peace too. He was a carpenter and
Hmm.
a contractor. But I had my cousin on recently, Allegra White, who is a doula, and we're going to talk about that. And she reminded me that my aunt, she boasts that she still have the record of delivering 999 children in 1 year
Oh, my.
as a midwife
Yes.
in
Yeah.
hospitals. Had to jump from hospitals to midwifery places. She had to do that.
Okay.
She was in well demand back in those days,
Yes.
big
Yes.
demand. So she
Yes.
still boasts that it would have been over 1,000, but some had to be rushed to the emergency to the hospital. So it would
Okay.
have been, but no, everything else was 999. I was like,
Okay.
what? So the importance of it is so important in this day and time, that our people, the young folks nowadays, who wants to learn how to do this, because this is something very lucrative now, even more now than ever. What would you suggest for a parent, two family parent, or one family parent? Because I sometimes, how it is, things happen. What do you suggest for the young generation to come into understanding midwifery? What would you suggest they should learn?
Well, I think it's really important, firstly, to understand that pregnancy is a sacred
Mm,
life event.
yeah.
It's a natural phenomenon. It's a
Mm,
natural unfolding that will occur with or without the presence of a midwife or a doctor. Huh?
mm,
Women have been birthing babies for centuries.
exactly.
Our bodies are made to birth. We know how to birth babies.
That's
We
right.
have just, um, through this society, capitalized off of, you know,
Hmm.
the reproductive
Hmm.
physiological process. But women know how to birth. It's, just unlearning the fear that has been instilled in us. We are all indoctrinated into this fear-based way of thinking about pregnancy and
Hmm.
thinking about our own health. Our bodies really know what to do. So one of the things that I would say is really, really, sit quietly and see, what comes to you. What are some things that are really important to you? So if the thoughts or the things that come to you is to have a very peaceful pregnancy, labor, birth experience, then you might want to choose a setting that offers that. You
Hmm.
might want to choose a provider that can offer that type of setting. So to me, it's really important to connect to what is it you really want? What type of experience do you really want to have? because what people forget that about birth and about pregnancy is that this is a tremendously memorable moment. You will remember birth for the rest of your life.
Right.
It
Right.
is I want to say, experience that the baby um, goes through, a process that the father goes through, that the mother goes through,
That part.
grandparents, everyone's impacted by the birth.
That part.
It is a very monumental event, and we have lost sight of that.
That is true. That is true.
It really kind of connects community,
Yes.
and we've lost the art of the humanness, the human element of birth. I want to say, technologized it so much or medicalized it so much that
Right.
we forget about the human element.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So in my practice is really important to me fundamentally and foundationally to, create a trust currency. And the way you do that is by centering the woman, centering the couple, and
Yes.
really getting to know what their needs and expectations are,
Mm.
developing that relationship and nurturing it so that I really get a chance to know who you are. What are some of your life struggles, challenges? What might you be going through financially? What are you going through in terms of your life cycle, in terms of your relationship? Because all of those elements will impact your health physically, mentally, and emotionally. So your provider needs to know all of those things about you in order to serve you best, order to support you best.
That's
What are
right.
you going through emotionally, mentally? Where are you? So
Right.
in order to be able to connect with women, with couples in that way, you have to provide the space where they feel comfortable.
Right. Yes. Right.
You also have to provide the time. So I
That's
try
right.
and spend at least 45 minutes to an hour with each couple, with each person who is expecting. So I get to build that relationship. So it's very tailored towards each
Right.
individual person, each individual couple.
You said something in regards to the couple, because a lot of sisters are birthing by themselves with family members around them, and one of your philosophy is about holistic care. What the first one I wanted is the Black liberation, and why that is so important in your philosophy. And if you go to her website, you will see her philosophy where it says Black liberation. We believe in the inherent worth, dignity, and resilience of Black individuals and communities. We are committed to dismantling
Right.
oppressive systems and structures that perpetrate racism, discrimination, and health disparities.
Mhm.
And our philosophy centers on empowering Black individuals, celebrating their cultural heritage, and uplifting their voices and experience. Now, Dr. Africa, when I stayed at his house, he used to teach a midwifery class
Yeah.
online. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my brother, before he passed on. And I
Okay.
remember he was coming with information and he said, he said, King, I said, what is it like to teach? He said, what it is, I wish that it was more men in the class with the women, because
Mhm.
it is a balance and it is a holistic, not HO, it's WHO, holistic
Mhm.
experience when it comes to relationships and having a baby. You said Black liberation. What does that mean, other than what I just read from you, from your spirit? What does that mean to incorporate that as a philosophy as far as in the midwifery world?
Well, it means integrating our ancestral wisdom and
Mm,
our healing power.
right.
It means allowing you to integrate those cultural beliefs and that lifestyle
Mm,
that you practice.
right.
It's honoring that, respecting that, and, allowing that to be a part of the process. And
Mm,
so that might look like for one family drumming, another
that part.
family, it might look like saying the Adhan, and
That's right.
whispering into the baby's ears.
I
It
used to do that. I used to do
might, yeah,
that
I know.
because I was Muslim. I was at
Yeah.
that time most of my
Mhm.
children. I used to whisper the Adhan or say Al Fatiha into their ear, or
Fatiha, yes.
the Adhan. Kul hu Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid, Walam Yulad, Walam Yakul Lahu Kufuwan Ahad. say he, Allah is one. You know, I used to break down the one, so I still can say the word
Right.
Arabia. But yeah, and that's
Right,
go
the
ahead, go ahead.
al-Fatiha
Yeah, and
into
that's
the
Fatiha.
baby's ear,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
shaving the baby's head, and
right,
there,
right,
or the
right,
grandmother has to take the baby first. So
right, right.
it's honoring those customs.
Mm.
That's revolutionary.
Yes, that
Choosing a
is.
midwife is revolutionary.
Yes.
Having and liberating. Having
Mhm.
a home birth is also revolutionary. you
Yes,
know,
yes.
because it says I am going against the dominant culture, which
Mhm.
is to go to the hospital, and I am practicing and living in a way that is fearless. You
Mm.
know, I am not taking on those fear-based ways of being
Mm.
and showing up. I
Mm.
know that I have the power to birth my baby. It is my body, it is my pregnancy, it is my birth. And I
Yes.
am taking a more leadership role in that and advocating for that. It
Mm.
means saying, this is how I want you to show up, because I am the most important person in this team, not the doctor, not the midwife, and not the doula. It
That's
is
right.
me, the laboring woman and or the laboring couple.
Mm.
Yes, it is revolutionary.
It
It is
is.
liberating. It
It is,
is
and especially in a society that kind of shuns it a little, and sometimes because that's why it's important to who you choose as a wife or a husband or
mhm,
a mate, because one of you might not agree with this
yeah,
and the other might not agree with this, where they start calling they'll start calling child services and all kinds of stuff on you just
right,
because
right,
you're doing something different, or what is ancient, but they want you to come and join them and make 75 or $10,000 in a hospital. I don't know what's going on in the hospital, but how do you handle those type of couples? Because they might be one on one side and the other on the other side. How do you handle those type of couples that want to deal with home birth, but yet the mother or the father is like, nah, I don't know. Nah. They want to get the epidural and all this in their back. And how do you deal with those type of mentalities?
delicately.
Let me give that a round of applause. Delicately, very good, very good answer.
Delicately, and with respect.
Of course,
You
of
have to
course.
understand that that person has
Mhm.
been impacted by
Mm.
the brainwashing
Yes, right,
and by societal norms.
right.
And so you have to approach it with grace and
Yes.
understanding. And when you come from that position, there can be a balance, and
Mm.
we all come to some level of understanding. So I say, one of the things that I always I want to say advise is
Hmm.
that you have to be 150% committed to this process.
Mm.
You have to
Okay,
be 150% committed.
that's right.
You have to know that that this is the journey and the path that you want to take,
Mm.
because the dominant culture goes in the different direction.
Yep.
You have to know that this is a natural process that will unfold on its
Mm.
own.
Hmm.
And, just knowing that sometimes, and getting that in your spirit is half the battle.
Mm. Mm.
So there's a lot, you
Yes,
know,
I know.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of layers to this.
Yes.
But if within your spirit that this is the path you want to go in, that is half the battle.
That is
Choosing the
absolutely.
midwife that I want to say mirrors your philosophy, that
Hmm.
you connect with. And
Yes.
that just takes, conversation, interviewing the midwife or the practice that you feel is near closest to you, or that is serving your community,
Yes.
interviewing them. I always say interview at least two midwives, just
Mm.
who you connect best with, and
Right.
also be clear about what your expectations are.
Right. Right.
That might mean I want a midwife that can offer all of my prenatal care in my home. It might be I want a midwife that looks like me. It might be I want a midwife that is open to negotiating her fee. I don't know what that
Mhm.
is. It might be four or five things, but it's being clear about that. And when you're not clear, sit quietly and see what comes to you, what drops in your lap.
Mm.
What
That
are
is
some things
powerful.
that are important to you? Is it important to you to be able to eat? It's simple. It's not, we're not thinking about, oh my God, let me, think about some concept,
Exactly.
simple. I want to be able to eat.
You know what was important to me, and those that are just before we get into that, those that are just tuning in, we have my dear friend for many years, many years. She even used to model with me, so that I love that she used to, she just did
With the
a lot of
human
stuff.
element, yes, I used to model.
Yes, she's the model. She used to model. So Sakina O Uhuru, she's our guest midwife, author, and teacher / trainer. You can contact her if you want her services at 704-420-0424. Her email is Sakina at a woman's way.com or Sakina at gentlespiritbirth.com. And the IG is at Gentle Spirit Birth and A Woman's Way at IG. And again, those websites are, of course, www.gentlespiritbirth.com and A Woman's Way Warrior Midwife Training.com. Now, you can't learn this stuff. You can learn this. You can learn this. Those ladies or gentlemen who want to learn, because they are men that does this, I'm telling you, can do so, and also, remember, support our sister. This is her PayPal. That means people from overseas and here in America can support her at paypal.me/AWW midwife training. And now, are you willing to go and fly into England and do training, or do you train online too? Are you training online also? How's this working?
My program is a adult distance learning program.
Okay.
So right now it's a 2-year program, but we just expanded it to a 3-year program.
Mm-hmm.
And the first 2 years we focus on theory and didactic. Of course, we do some basic clinical and practicum. But the first year you're immersed in the culture of remembering, restoring, reclaiming, and celebrating the ways of the wise women, our grand warrior midwives. We call them granny midwives.
All right.
So you're immersed in that culture, and then you're introduced to introductory to midwifery, medical terminology, and all the core competencies, so that if you want to go on and sit for your boards to become a CPM, you have those qualifications. So if you want to learn more about it, as Brother Simon said, you can go to my website, or you can email me at Sakina at awomansway.com or A Woman's Way Warrior Midwife Training.com. And on that website, you can apply directly to the program. It's very clear about the 4 steps.
And I'm glad that you said a mouthful, of course, with everything that you're doing. And I know at one time, back in the day, and I know in one of your podcasts you speak about parenting, the past, present, and future. Tell us.
That was a funny podcast.
I'm sure. Yes. What were some of the things that you remember, or what you studied from the past compared to the present, going, and where you think we're going in the future with this birthing and midwifery and this way of life of women taking control of their birthing patterns with the family and everything else? Where do you think we're going with this?
I think women are realizing that they want to advocate more for their health, mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And they're taking more of a leadership role in that. And they're, making some critical choices in the birth setting, choosing whether to have their baby at the hospital, at the birth center, or at home. I think more women are becoming empowered through, social media and just all of the coverage around Black maternal mortality. And they're taking more of, I want to say, a decisive position in how they want to birth, with whom they want to birth, who they want to support them. I think more women are choosing doulas, more women are choosing midwives than ever before, because the Black maternal mortality rate is on the rise. Maternal mortality rate is on the rise, generally speaking, in the United States since COVID. And so, particularly Black women, and, we just keep hearing about it. And a lot of women are scared now to go into the hospital. They're not sure if their voices are going to be heard.
Yes, there's a whole, I mean, they put up a friend of mine has told me the stuff that he went through to deal with what he had to deal with his, I mean, and she wanted to do it, he wanted to do it, but the hospital tried to put on this whole alarmist type argument or why you should do this and why. And then if the wife wasn't with him, it would have probably went through with the wife, because they're trying to pull the husband out and drag him. I mean, damn, they're trying to arrest these people in the hospital.
It's horrible what goes on.
That's what
a lot of people don't know what goes on in that, industrial complex.
Gosh, big up to the people on Facebook.
Prison industrial complex. But I better not say that.
Like Dr. Africa used to call it a hospital for horses. That's what Dr. Africa used, because he was a former military nurse himself. So he's seen the difference between the two systems, going from the allopathic to the holistic and doing what he did. So he's seen all of this in the military. So he made sure, he studied, and then went and studied to show you how to get into the psychology of our people, because he studied psychotherapy for like 13 years and wanted to get into the psychology of people so he can guide them to the holistic way.
Yes.
And or understand the balance between the two.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, and one thing you say also, what I love about one of your philosophies, where you say pregnancy, labor, and birth are sacred life processes. They are commemorative life events to be cherished and honored.
Yes.
And I tell people about the birthday. Like I remember a friend of mine said he wasn't into birthdays. I said, you know why you need to honor your birthday? Because at that point of birth, that your mother gave birth and you was coming to the earth, you could have died, she could have died, and there's two things happening at this time. And a lot of people don't want to recognize that and understand and honor the birthing process, to think of that, oh, no, I shouldn't even honor that. No, you got to honor and respect, at least give honor to your mother for giving birth, because that ring of fire is something else. I mean, my hands got squeezed enough times.
Or bitten, huh? And see, people don't understand how primal it is.
Yes.
And how transformative it is. It's transformative for the laboring person, the couple, and the baby. Everyone is transformed, and it's such an empowering moment. It really helps to motivate you in so many other areas or facets of your life if you can get through that labor, because you're changed mentally, emotionally, and physically. You're not the same person. And everybody remembers that moment, not just the laboring person. So it is monumental.
Yes.
And a midwife really impacts the lives of at least 10 people.
Yes, that's right.
Her birth.
That's right.
And each of those persons will tell that story over and over again. And that person will tell it over and over again. So that's how impactful it is in terms of the community.
I want to the ladies out there and the brothers, but most of the ladies, I want to apologize for any brother that did not understand that need to have the duality of celebration. Some may have not showed up, some may have missed it. I know I've missed a few. I've made a few because I know I had to work certain times and then popped up and came later. But it is so, I apologize for you ladies that went through that, because it's not easy. And every birth that I've seen, I cried, because I know it's seeing this beautiful entity come through the mother womb while she's going through what she's going through. It's not I'm tearing up now in my eyes, because it's real when you think about it. And for have a midwife, and like I said, I think I teared up when my auntie used to do it, and I used to hear these babies for the first time, and she'll bring them out after she clean them up. She'll show us and put them in the sun, because Jamaica had a lot of sun. You should put them in the sun to get that melanin popping. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for what you're doing to all the midwives and doulas. And now, what's the difference between midwives and doulas? Please, let's go there.
You want to go there, do you?
I want to go there. Respect to the doulas, because I know Erica Badu is a doula, and I know a few other friends of mine. She's a doula, because she studied with Dr. Africa also. So big up to her. So go ahead, please explain those.
So let me just say that
Yes.
I work I want to say personally
Mhm.
with doulas.
Okay.
Most of my students are doulas who are now
Ah.
becoming midwives. We just graduated one
Mm.
this past summer, and we're getting ready.
Congratulations, all you doulas turning midwives. Yes,
Davis.
congratulations. Yes, yes, yes.
And so 6 more are going to be graduating
Hmm.
the end of
Wonderful.
December. We're going to have a huge celebration in January for them in Raleigh.
Wow.
I'm going to post it on my website and my
Please,
newsletter.
please.
So yeah, so I just wanted to make that clear.
Yes.
We're all birth workers and we
Right.
respect one another and we work together. It's a
Mhm.
team effort. So doulas support women emotionally
Mhm.
through the labor birth process. They're advocates for them. And midwives are licensed to, I want to say, assess,
Mhm.
diagnose,
Mm.
prescribe, licensed by the
Right.
state. Most of us are licensed. And some of us are traditional midwives. To me, you're a midwife, you're my sister midwife. I don't discriminate. So, one can prescribe, assess, diagnose, and one cannot.
Mm. Mm.
Now, and that's simply put. I'm not going to
Yeah.
go
No, I know. I
too
know. I
deep.
understand. Yeah. Keep it simple. Keep it
Of
simple.
course,
Keep it
you
simple.
can take, excuse me, a 2-day, 3-day weekend course to become a doula, but to
Mhm.
become a midwife, you usually study for a couple of years.
Yeah,
It
nursing,
takes,
like a nursing program. Like y'all
yeah,
go to
if
nursing
you
and
are a nurse midwife, there are
yes,
so
yes.
many
My
different
grandmother,
types, and
yes.
I'm going to just focus on 3
Yes.
different ones: certified nurse midwife,
Mhm.
and certified professional midwife, and traditional midwife. Some
Mm.
people call that direct entry or
Mm.
community-based midwives. I think we're all community-based midwives
Basically,
because we all
basically.
serve a community.
Right, right, right,
Whether
right.
you're a CNM, CM, CPM, or traditional midwife, we're all birth workers or
Right, right,
birth ambassadors. Everybody, there's so much new terminology coming out.
right,
Um,
right. Gosh.
so I am a licensed midwife, and I happen to have my license as a certified professional midwife and a certified nurse midwife.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
am licensed in the state of North Carolina. I was licensed in the state of New Jersey and New York when I was up there. So I actually have a master's degree in midwifery.
Mm.
Um, but my program is for CPMs, certified
Okay.
professional midwives. So I provide the core competencies,
Mhm.
the basic, I want to say, coursework that you need to sit for the boards.
Mm.
If you want to become a certified professional midwife, you can also take my course if you want to practice as a traditional midwife. So it's your choice. It's about what you feel is your calling, you know, and that takes connecting with your inner spirit, your divine spirit, to know, what your purpose and calling is. Uh,
Mm.
so I hope that helps.
No, that helps a lot. And I wanted to show your training website
Mhm.
so people can know that it is possible for you to learn and earn, but do it for the love, not for the likes.
Yes,
Do it for
yeah,
the love
the
because
love,
it's
the
not an
love.
easy thing. I mean, one of the problems I remember having back in the times of it was getting the placenta, and the midwife helped me get the placenta
Oh
because
yeah,
I wanted to bury the placenta and send
right.
my solutions and my prayers over it and all that and put it under a plant or a tree. And that's the tree
Yes,
is still there at my grandmother's house for my first son, and my last son is at my mother's house. So the placenta is there for those two. They connected to their grandmothers or their great grandmother also. So
yes.
just to show, because it was a traditional thing. Dr. Ben told us about that years ago. Some people used to eat it. I wasn't doing
Life
that.
sustaining.
Yeah,
That's our
yes.
life sustaining organ.
Right, exactly. But yeah, I don't. Now you've heard of those people that used to eat it. You heard about
Yeah,
that?
they still do.
They
Some,
still do. Okay.
midwives give them a little piece and we put it in the blender with some, herbs and really like juice, bananas, and,
Mm,
make a smoothie out of it. And it helps them postpartum. It helps to prevent postpartum depression as well. Some people, dry it out and put them in pill form,
right.
encapsulation.
Oh,
So it is very, very helpful in terms
okay.
of healing. both physically and emotionally. So,
and that's funny because people will feel appalled about doing that, but yet some of them eat meat and meat that they don't know where it come from, and they don't know where it came from. It came out of you. This one came out of you now, but
right,
you won't touch
exactly.
on this. But you eat meat that coming from everywhere else.
Yeah, they'd be appalled by the blood. I'm like, well, the meat you eat has blood in
It has
it.
blood too, and you don't even know if the blood is traumatized, or the blood have tumors and all kinds of madness in it. And look, I
And
don't know.
most animals eat their own placenta.
Eat their own
We're the only
placenta.
ones that don't.
That we don't do it anymore.
Right.
Let's put it like that.
Anymore, right.
Yes. But this website here, this is a website that people can actually go to for a woman's way warrior midwife training. Now look what she says. A woman's way warrior midwife, because we can't have no soft punk people. You need warriors, because you're going to have to defend this philosophy, because the philosophy is a powerful, it makes a powerful statement when you go through the mission, when you go through the purpose, when you go through the philosophy. Are they required to study all of this before they come to your class?
They will learn it in the first 2 semesters.
Good.
They learn a lot about what war and midwifery is all about. It's also learning a lot about sisterhood, which is a lost art here in midwifery. How it's very important to create those bonds with the sisters that you're in training with. So we have Sister Circle, where we teach a lot about how it is to be honorable, how it is to extend grace, how it is to nurture relationships, because those are the people that you're going to lean on and depend on in your practice. There are going to be days when you question why you're even on this journey. There's going to be days when you have imposter syndrome. There's going to be days when you're challenged by the system, challenged by your colleagues, challenged by doctors, nurses, even other midwives. Going through and getting through all of that is what makes you a warrior midwife. But we prepare you for that. We prepare you for that path. It is, it's a huge undertaking.
Yes, it is.
And not to be taken lightly.
Not to be taken lightly.
But it is extremely rewarding and extremely satisfying. But you have to know that you know that you want to walk this path.
That's right.
Because it's a lot of sacrifice.
That's right. A lot of sacrifice. I've seen it with my aunt, seen it with my grandmother, and them going out late at night to go and help with children.
Late at night.
All of a sudden you get the call and you got to jump in the car or get to where you got to go. And
you'll see it I posted on my Instagram, my journeys. Like, I'm getting in the car now at 3:00 in the morning. Nobody's out. Everybody's sleeping. The deers are crossing my path.
I'm sure you got it going on up there in North Kakalaki.
You're talking to yourself when you drive into the birth.
Exactly. People don't know that part, and that is the problem, And before we finish, because we're almost at the top of the hour, I just wanted people to make sure you see the other website, the Gentle Spirit website, and you also have a YouTube channel and a Spotify. I got it up on the screen. Also, I put it in the chat earlier, family. Her YouTube channel is at Midwife Sakina Oyuhuru. 4710, and of course Spotify, that is the podcaster.spotify all of the dots, and then Sakina Oyuhuru episode warrior. A lot of dots and slashes, warrior midwife training, but I put it in the chat so y'all can actually click on it and check it out for yourself. And and just honoring the things that you do, to have the pictures flashing by with these pictures of these beautiful people enjoying life coming through, because all of us came through the same medium. My daughter said she actually went to school with a test tube baby. What do you say about that? Because she went to school with a person that came out of a test tube. What do you say about that?
So are you saying they had insemination, artificial insemination?
Yes, artificial insemination.
So I really do not like to stand in the position of, criticizing, because you don't know people's backstory.
Right.
You don't know the challenge that they may have conceiving.
Exactly.
So they may have had to get a little bit of help
Right.
in conception. And then, that I want to say fertilized ovum was then implanted into the woman's womb,
Yes.
So
I know. I mean,
kudos
a lot of things happen. A lot of things have
yeah,
happened.
so I don't really want to stand in judgment.
No, don't judge. That's right.
Don't know their backstory, and so if they were able to do that and still have their baby, okay. Because
have you dealt with surrogate moms and all that? Have you ever dealt with that?
I haven't had surrogate moms, but I have had artificial insemination. If you want to
you
know
dealt with
that.
that? Wow.
I don't stand in judgment at all.
No. Hey.
I'm just there to support them and help them have the type of birth that they dream of, that they plan for, that they're aligned with, and respect that.
Why this is so interesting to me is because I remember being at an event in New York at this venue, and it was one of my celebration of promotion and production, and one of the sisters that work at the place, younger sister, and she happens to be lesbian, and I said, "Do you ever want children?" She said, "Not the traditional way. I'd rather do it through science." I said, "Okay. I mean, I understand. That's her walk, and that's what she wants to do through science, whether it's insemination or the new thing they might try to make it look like the Matrix and grow children in pods. That's what I heard. They got that in China now. I'm like, really? They can be doing this can happen in the next 30 to 50 years, maybe 100 years. Do you see yourself or anybody else preparing for that? Do they look towards that future of what can happen and going through that type of thing? I got to ask those deeper questions.
That's an interesting question. I don't think I'll be around for
I know
this.
you know, but I know
I don't think I'm going to be here when they do that, and there will be no need for it to have a midwife if you're creating children in pods.
Well, the midwives are going to be the ones working in the labs. Those are basically what midwives are doing. That's what I'm saying. But when I looked up,
there's no need for us if you're creating.
I'm gonna send you a link because this is interesting. Oh,
I don't know.
I'm
it
like,
sounds
they started
far-fetched, but I'm not saying it can't happen.
You know why is that? Because remember back in the day, you and I, we probably watched Total Recall. You remember Arnold Schwarzenegger Total Recall?
Yeah.
And at that time, remember they had the body scan at the airports. They got the body scan today. we watched Dick Tracy with the watch on
and we got that.
And we got that now. So anything they put out there now is something they already preparing for later. So anything
or the towers, and they can see exactly where you were when you said you were.
Exactly.
I mean, you can be watched all day long.
All day long,
just based on your phone, your credit card, your bank card. It's like
and they're trying to push this AI stuff. So AI could be helping with assisting childbirth in the next many years if you don't have a community that's to themselves like the Amish or a certain Jewish community, because I know the Jewish still promotes that in their birthing centers and all that stuff throughout Brooklyn, New York. I remember going to a birthing center over there. So I mean, it's a deep thing that where we're going, and we got to be very careful how much use of AI we're going to use. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Basically, that's
possible.
what I'm saying.
Hopefully, it's not probable. That's my.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear sister Sakina, again. Oh man, I want to thank her for coming on and sharing her wealth of wisdom as a midwife. And of course, she also has classes, training, midwife training course, and all that kind of stuff in classes, so you can be at least board certified, right? They can be board certified and through that.
Yes, if you want to take that route. Yes.
Yes, if they want to take that route. Please support her via PayPal. This is paypal.me/AWW midwife training. And these are the websites for both of them, the Gentle Spirit Birth and also a Woman's Way Warrior Midwife Training.com. That's also there. And don't forget, she does have a YouTube channel there at Midwife Sakina Oyuhuru 4710, and also Spotify. Go hit her up at Spotify at the Warrior Midwife Training. Also, those episodes that she has there. And Sakina, any last words for those people who are serious about coming down this road of midwifery in the way that you've done so wonderfully throughout the years?
Yeah, two things I want to say. If
Please.
you really feel this is your calling and your purpose in life, I would definitely think very seriously about the path,
Mm,
whether you want to go CPM route, CNM, traditional
mm,
midwifery, really be clear and certain about your path and your journey. And to those expectant people, couples, women, I would say really be true to your heart, true to your spirit, really sit quietly and just connect with what type of birth setting, what type of birth support person you want to have at this monumental, event called birth. Those are the
mm.
things that I would leave with.
Monumental. Hear what he said? Get out of round of applause. It is monumental. My dear friend Sakina, I can't wait to see you. We're not too far from each other. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Georgia. You in North Carolina. And I
Yeah.
just came through North Carolina today. I was coming on bus from New York, and I did stop. And I was thinking about a few friends, but I didn't know you was still. I didn't know you
Oh,
wasn't in
yeah. You
Jersey
could have
anymore.
came and visited. That would have been great.
I'm
Had
definitely
dinner,
coming
had
down. I
lunch.
have to visit my friends. My friends out there know, and of course, my ex-wife, she has a store that she wants me to do an event out there. So I'm
Okay.
definitely gonna definitely come out there and do something. Maybe I'll do something with you.
Okay.
Uh,
Let's
yeah,
plan it. Let's plan that. That's
yeah. Let's
possible.
make that happen. Let's
That.
make it happen. Maybe for Women's History Month.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think that's a great idea. I
I
would
think
love to be a part of that.
let's do it
Mhm.
because I'm taking over. I've already got New York on lock. I just had a pack event. I've done a packed event over here in Georgia. I need to do North Carolina South. I need to do Florida.
Yes.
Those are the next roads that I'm going to cover while I'm down south. I need to cover the down south region very well, and
Please
people
do.
like you can be very helpful for me. And we can talk about honorariums or how we're going to do it. We can do it behind the scenes
Sure.
and make all that stuff happen. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
I am so appreciative of you, my dear. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks.
on
Thanks for having me.
and give the family and all my old friends, Tracy and Yvonne, a big old
I
hey.
will.
I hope they watch this. You got to send it to them and tell them to watch it on. It's on Facebook. It's on Twitter. It's on YouTube at one of my all my those four platforms we're broadcasting on at this time. And I want to thank you for the great work that you've done and just being a good friend all these years and showing and proving that it's all right to be your great self and being a midwife, which I was raised with. It shows me that there's greatness in all of us and whatever we do. We just have to find our greatness, and like Les Brown says, never leave this planet without revealing your greatness. Never leave this planet
Absolutely.
without. All right. I love you and respect you, my sister, and we'll talk. Okay.
Appreciate you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Give a round of applause, my beautiful sister. Peace and love. That's my sister. Let me get out. Let me get in front. And woo, that was good. Oh, for the good times, for the good times. I can still sing too. Stop playing. I like to sing. I was number 5 on the reggae chart back in the day, so y'all better know what's up. It's so important to have beautiful energy like that. Virgo energy at that. She's a Virgo like my sister, and she born the same day as Eric Thomas, the motivational speaker, whom I listen to every other day. All that because he got a lot of energy. So I love energy, And when you have that jovial attitude of people born under that number 3 energy, it's all about bringing the jovial and happy and optimistic attitude to any job or business that you do when you're born on the 3rd, the 12th, or the 21st or 30th of the month. That's very important because that's the number of expression and expansion on multiple levels according to the metaphysics science of numbers. And numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves. A lot of people don't know that. Numbers don't lie. People lie to themselves, and that's what people don't realize. And numbers connected to you do not lie either. So be well aware and well focused. That's why someone like her would write a book called Journey to Birth. That's a writer's number. And once you understand what you're supposed to do, the numbers can guide you. And that's why I will be teaching a live class an interactive live class on October 28th, that's Saturday, October 28th, online from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Learn how to guide yourself, because I really want people to ascend to the mastery. That's why it's called Ascended Master Class Webinar. Applied Numerovation. My system is Numerovation, how to motivate. Numero, using the Latin words numero, which means numbers, and vation from the word motivation. Numerovation, motivating you to be your best. So the tickets will be on sale through my link tree. And if you don't want to deal with the Eventbrite surcharges, by all means, this is what you can do, family. You can actually text me at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. You're more than welcome to text me, and you can do the Cash App or the PayPal without all the surcharges. But this is going to be a very good class for 3 hours. And I will have a Q&A at the end so people can filter. And I'm only limited seats is 100 people, 50 to 100 people at the price that I'm, it's $44 advance and $55 general admission. So please take the time out to, on October 1st. And those that are a part of my Ministry of Numerovation, you get $10 off of the immediate price. The 44, that means it'll be $33 for y'all. $33. I'm keeping with those master numbers, if you notice. And by the time we get to that time limit, because it is actually before a certain time, it's actually $44 before October the 10th. And then after October the 10th, it's $55 all the way through. But those that are on my ministry, you can actually go to my link tree /King Simon of Numerovator. You can join my ministry, the Ministry of Numerovation. And those people get deals. They get $10 off or $5 off or 10% off. Depends on what we're doing and what we're handling. I really want people to learn for themselves. That's why the theme of it is learn how to guide yourself. It's applied numerovation, applied mathematics, and how to use it for yourself. Very important that we learn. It's not going to be like anybody else's classes. I'm different. Those that know me, I'll get on a chalkboard or whiteboard real quick and start getting busy, especially while I'm answering questions. I want to show people how to simply unpack the interpretation of an ancient methodology of metaphysics, and that's called numerology, which was called numerology in 1907, 1906, 1907. But this was our people studying patterns, cycles, and sequences, not just of the universe and the patterns of precession of time and all that, but also with people and individuals connected to the day they were born, and even the times, and even your names, which are words that have vibrations connected to it. So if you want to take the class, make sure you go. I didn't post it up yet. It will be posted up on October the 1st. It is expected to go up October the 1st, and I will post it in the link tree, but it will be on my Eventbrite. That's King Simon Production at Eventbrite, and you're more than welcome to check that out. On the other hand, again, we want to thank Sakina of Euphoria for coming through, and make sure you get her book. And do remember, if you're in Brooklyn, New York, check out my brother Ross Ben, Lloyd Strayhorn, Empress Sister Kafunya, and Unc Rising Sun at Nicholas Brooklyn from 6 to 9 p.m. on September 30th. On the 9th the 8th of October, on the 8th of October, we have the one, the only Rashida Strober, Darkism Matters. It's time to heal in the dark. And I didn't do these flyers yet, but let me stroll this down on the bottom here. Let me put this on the bottom here. Next, coming up on October the 1st, we have Dr. Oya Ma'at. We're going to talk about STEAM or STEM. Of course, the science and all the science about different things, because she's also a professor in the college. And we're going to have Baba Phil Valentine come in on October 29th. He'll be speaking on man and woman being an experience and not a job description. Dr. Phil Valentine will be coming in on the 29th of October. and we're going to have a great time with Dr. Phil. You know how he gets down. And honor our sponsors. Big up to Dr. Shakira Moore, of course, certified holistic practitioner, student of Dr. Phil Valentine, Grandmaster Mick Eady, and also Zen Bebe. So make sure you go to her linktree/holistica healer. And do remember Lloyd Strayhorn is also one of my sponsors, lloyd-strayhorn.com. That's lloyd-strayhorn.com. Call them 800-581-4401. You could also do an astronumerologist with numerology with him, or a palm reading. He do the palmist. He's very good at reading palms, also very good at that. If you're in Delaware, check out Job Squad Kitchen in Wilmington, Delaware. If you want some good muscle relaxer with good CBD infused hydrated gel and cooling, this is very good. I use it for my workouts. I even use their powders and all that for they got also good bathing powders and all that kind of stuff. Our spiritual bath. EPS Holistic Health and Wellness.square.site. Nicholas Brooklyn, make sure you hit him up. 10% off if you take a picture of this. All retail purchases with Nicholas Brooklyn with this flyer. Just take a picture, show them the screen. And do remember, Baba Ashra Kwesi was in town in New York and had a great presentation, him and his wife, Mama Mirara Kwesi. And if you want to take that 15-day trip with them or journey through Kemet, Cairo, and Nubia, 214-371-0206. Call them and tell them you've seen it on King Simon's show. And remember, get all my books. 4 books, and I got 6 more to write. Linktree/King Simon the Numerator. My classes, my 2-hour class, 2-hour introductory courses on Udemy. You can go to my Linktree. If you want to take my 8-hour course, all of it is worth it. It's just I teach differently every time I come on. That's how I do it. Linktree/King Simon the Numerator, or you can text me at 347-496-1022. And remember, you can book a session 347-496-1022. Please text your full name and date of birth for the special advertisement rate numerovation consultation with your brother King Simon. Remember, the study of numbers or numerology is applied mathematics. Learn how to apply your numbers and they will guide you. And remember, accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And remember what Dr. B. Sirius said. I have Dr. B coming up too. I gotta remind myself to get him on my show before the actual God Power event on the 29th of October after my event. But I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for life. Remember, there is no health without mental health. Pay close attention to your mental health, family. I don't care if you buffed up and look all good and think you got a good body, male and female, but if your mind is effed up, I'm telling you, family, it's not a good look. So there is no health without mental health. Closing with the Dr. Delbert Blair's prayer. We're going to close out right now. So everybody take a nice deep breath as we say Dr. Delbert Blair's prayers. First and foremost, let me put his website up because Dr. Delbert Blair, he means so much to me. Blair, he means so much. Dr. Blair. One of the greatest metaphysics teachers out there, and humble soul and spirit. www.themetacenter2.com, www.themetacenter2, and Dr. B's Linktree is our Linktree/Dr. B Sirius. Here we go. Please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Thank you, Dr. Blair. Thank you, Dr. Blair. And thank all of you for coming on. I seen Aisha McBride, that was out there. Aisha Moore, used to be a former co-host on here. I seen Dr. Shakira on earlier, and a lot of people. Thank y'all very much for tuning in. Remember, please share and like this broadcast. The information about midwifery and the midwifery classes that both men and women can take is profound. All you have to do is contact our midwife specialist, Sakina Ogyufuru, and tell her that King Simon sent you when you hit up those websites. Tell her that King Simon sent you. It was a great experience to be with her. Please support her via PayPal. Share some love at paypal.me/AW Midwife Training. And this is her YouTube channel. This is her website. This is her numbers and her emails and her IGs. So make sure you support her at any extent. And again, family, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in and locking in. I want to close out with the three people that I feel that they meant a lot to us in history. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, and Maya Angelou. Marcus Mosiah Garvey said, "Up, you mighty nation, you could accomplish what you will. One love, one aim, one destiny." Dr. Khalid said, "Regardless of land, label, or language, there's but one God." And Maya Angelou said, "And still we rise." Family, continue to rise to the top. Be your great self. Strive to be your best. Remember, October 1st, we got Dr. Oya Ma'at coming in. Then we have on October 9th, Rashida Stroba. And then on October 29th, we have Dr. Philip Valentine. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening, family. Take care of yourself. Take care of your energy. Take care of your vibe. And don't let nobody bring you down no matter what. I'm out of here, family. I love you. And we go.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com, or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class